Hello, Modern Royalty Podcast Tribe. It's Princess Sarah Culberson, and we have another tea time for you with the incredible Scott Evans. Is this amazing interviewer. He is a producer. But what I want to tell you is when he was in middle school, who was the celebrity you interviewed in middle school?
Oh my God, Destiny's Child? John Legend?
No.
Yeah.
He was the youngest announcer for the NBA basketball team, the Pacers. What? Then he goes on to work in New York doing hardcore news.
I'm pretty good at this. I could continue doing this, but I don't want to do this way.
Now, he has a first look deal for NBC Universal, and he's getting ready to announce the Olympics. So stay tuned for the most incredible, fabulous interview with Scott Evans.
I'm going to tell you something I've not told a lot of people.
Okay.
I want to work in late night. And so I told Jimmy Fallon, I was like, I'm not saying you ready. I'm going to let you know I'm getting ready.
Hello, Scott.
What up, baby? How you doing?
You said you don't like to do interviews.
I'm not good at it.
Yes, you are.
No, what I mean is like I'm not a good interviewee. I think I always leave the scenario like, did I say anything they gonna be able to use? I don't mean we had a good time, but like, did I deliver the goods? Do they know when to watch, where to watch? Did I say my name right?
So let's make sure at the end you
Yes.
give all that stuff,
Of
what you're
course.
doing. Don't let me forget that.
I will not.
Okay, we will do that.
I will try
Yes.
not to let you forget.
Okay. I love it. We'll do this in partnership together.
Indeed.
So I wanted to go back into time.
Let's do it.
When did you say, I want to do media? Were you like I could see you being a little kid saying, I'm going to start interviewing people in your neighborhood. Like,
Yep.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, no. So it's something like it. Yes. So first, thank you for even being interested in this interview and this time with you. I really appreciate you reaching out and saying,
Should have
I
said
wanna...
that to you. Thank you for coming.
No, truly, I mean it. Like I know there's a whole bunch of people out here working hard to make this a better place to be. This place, this planet, the world we live in.
Yes.
Hoping to shine a little bit of light in their corner of the world, their pocket of the world. So I appreciate you seeing mine and wanting to lend what you do to what we do so that we could be aligned and do some things together.
Yes.
So I appreciate that in you. But no, I did. I was in the third grade, and my sister, Stacey Pates, who is like my sister, I call her my sister. She is closer to me, as close to me as my blood relatives.
Yes.
She is the reason why I'm in television.
Yep.
She was the courtside reporter for the Pacers, and she booked me on a gig. I was playing. She thinks it was a young Reggie Miller. But I was told, I'm sorry, she thinks it was a young Michael Jordan, but I distinctly remember I was a young Reggie Miller.
Yes.
I mean,
I love this.
A young Reggie Miller.
She was saying that you were like Michael Jordan?
She was saying, no, you were cast as a young Michael Jordan. And I was like,
no, you were more like Reggie Miller, you're saying.
I thought that's what the call sheet said.
Right. And you were young because you started.
Yeah, third grade. I was like
announcing for the NBA.
No, well, now I was 19 when I started that.
Okay, well, I don't want to go to that yet. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so third grade, I was cast in this video, like the home video intros, right? So like, you're at the game and it's like, right before they go, and announcing the Indiana Pacers. So right before that,
I'm glad you're so shy. I love it.
I mean, this was literally my life. You know what I mean?
love it.
So right before that, they would play this video, this like to get you kind of like in the mood. The lights would go down over the whole stadium. The crowd would go crazy. And then up popped my face as a young Reggie Miller against a young Larry Bird in this kind of like Twilight Zone black and white video. And I remember leaving the set. Got a day out of school and $50. And I remember leaving the set and I was like, oh, I'm rich. I'm about to be famous. And this is what I want to do the rest of my life.
Wow.
And my sister was like, okay, don't be creepy. We're like driving home. She's like, you're going to school tomorrow. You're not a celebrity.
Just yet.
Yeah. Take the trash out before your mom gets home. And, but I was bit by that performance thing, pretty early on. And so this was like just another iteration, but I had never done anything that was broadcast. And so when I got to the first home game to see the finished product, I lost my mind because people were like cheering. It was like, people were like losing their minds. And later were like, were you the kid? I was like, yeah, that was me. That was me. And so I think my mom, my sister, and myself, we found every opportunity for me to be on a stage or for me to be in front of a group, in front of an audience, to do and be practicing performing.
I love that.
And then in high school, I was a part of this program at Indiana Black Expo, which was like the precursor to Essence Festival.
Oh, nice.
Indiana Black Expo in Indianapolis. And they had a program called Youth Video Institute. And I learned the basics of video production and video storytelling, segment producing, crafting stories, doing interviews, setting up shoots in middle school and high school. And we started a show called 360 Degrees. Still my email address to this day.
What?
Yes. And so.
And what was that about? 360
we
Degrees?
were a youth directed and produced television show on MTV2.
No.
We talked about everything from teen homelessness to dating, sex, college, movies. My friends Margie and Tori, who are still very good friends of mine today, I see them every single week. They come to the house every week. We are all working in the business. One is an editor, one is an executive at ABC. I mean, we are. It's so funny because I think about this program. I think about the opportunities that you have as young people to cultivate your passion and to encourage you to go after what you want with some skills and some know-how.
Yes.
And my life was changed because of that program. And so I was interviewing celebrities in middle school and high school, right? Like
who influenced you as a celebrity interview at that age?
Oh my gosh, who was I watching? Like that like.
So you started interviewing celebrities.
Yeah.
In middle school.
Middle school.
Who's the celebrity you interviewed in middle school?
Oh my God, Destiny's Child.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, Destiny's Child. I interviewed.
How does that? How do you interview Destiny's Child?
John Legend.
No.
Yeah, Nia Long. I mean, if they were popping and black, we had them because they came for Summer Celebration, which was like the big thing that happened for Expo.
Right.
So we were charged as being like this documentary crew for the festival. And so Erykah Badu sat down with me on the floor after her performance, and she grabbed my hand during the interview, and she said, "Young man, I want to tell you something in front of this room. What you just did is not something that a lot of people can do. And all of that talent, all of that know-how in this little bitty body that you got, you better be careful with this gift. Because there will be times where they will try to use this against you, this position that you have. Be careful with this gift, guard this gift, but man, use it." And I will never forget. I was like, Erykah Badu is my her music, Jill Scott.
Those are my favorites.
Like they got me through,
right?
Like
and also Maxwell.
Yes. Like I'm talking like stuff I didn't even know I was going through. What you going through in the 7th grade?
Right.
That Jill Scott is talking to you. Talking about let's take a long walk. You like, yes, Lord, please. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
It.
And so I had these opportunities at Frankie Beverly and Mays, Shaka Khan, are interviews that I did as a young person, or at middle school, high school. And so I remember there was a conversation I had with Earthquake, and he stopped me. My mom was watching. It was the first interview my mom ever watched me do, like live.
Yes.
And she was bawling, and he saw her, and he was like, "Do you know this young man?" And she was like, "That's my son." And he was like, "I know exactly why. I know exactly why she's crying." He was like, "This is going to be something you do for the rest of your life." And I was like, "Man, I hope so. I'm trying to get paid." I'm trying to get paid. But I did know that this was something that I wanted to do. I did know that. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to take advantage of every single opportunity that was available to me. And I've tried to do that. Really, I've tried to do that. And with each opportunity being more, becoming more, getting to know myself more and more, sharing that more and more in the hopes, like this is the idea, the mantra, right? Is that like people who are watching the work that I get to do are confronted with an opportunity to maybe learn a little bit more about themselves, to challenge themselves to be a little bit more themselves because they see me being a little bit more myself. And so that they go in pursuit of dreams they didn't even know they could because they're living the life that is more authentically them.
And when you live your life authentically, it inspires others to live theirs that way.
Yeah, it's true.
No, it's so true.
And like like people say, remember I was probably 23 or 24, and I read this book by Danielle Laporte called The Desire Map. And part of the Desire Map was about getting to a sentence of what you mean your life to be, like your mission statement kind of thing, right? But her whole idea was about what feelings do you want to feel? What action do you want to have? What perspective are you keen on now, so that the other things, the money, the family, the accolades, all of that can come, but they won't matter when they do, because you're living the life you want as defined by you now. So instead of being like, by 25, I want to be on a network television show, it's, I want to live in a way that I am a reflection of the light and love that is shown to me in my life, so that people who watch what I do may become curious enough about themselves that they go in pursuit of their real dreams. That's my whole thing. And it's like the filter.
I have no words. Keep going. Yes.
I know. It's like the filter that I live a lot. I was gonna try to say a lot. It's the filter that everything goes through for me. If it cannot aid in that, if it doesn't assist in that, then it's a no for me.
Okay, I'm pausing because I'm dumbfounded by you. I don't give good interviews. People need to interview you more.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I know you interviewed me and we had so much fun, and I was like, this guy's amazing. I didn't know I'd have this podcast years later and have you come on. But I just remember at the end of our time together, we were talking about the movie, turning a book A Princess Found into a movie, and you're like, well, if you need a dark-skinned brother, look at the end.
I remember I just was like, listen, if you happen to be looking for somebody to play a part,
put me in the movie.
I'll at your boy.
Oh my God.
Look no further.
Oh my gosh. Have you done acting too?
It is something I'm getting. I went to school for theater.
Yes, that's what you did.
And so I am getting back into acting now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a desire of mine that I counted myself out of because I felt like the thing I had more experience in and more of a know-how to push through was media, was interviewing people, was, it felt like there was much more out of my control with auditioning for parts than it was to landing a moment, than it was to showing up in a way that you really bigged up somebody else, that you really offered something different from their everyday or run-of-the-mill experiences with press. And so I knew that also that like there would be opportunities for me to create the stuff that I wanted to do as a producer, as an interviewer, as a journalist. And so I went that route. Right. Because I just felt like there were more options available with some demonstrated success quicker.
Well, and what I want to say also is your spirit, drive, personality is so infectious that it seems like this is a wonderful path for you. I studied acting too, and we get to play all these different characters.
Yeah.
And we get to be all these different things. But there's something that you just, for the lack of grammar, the way you just be, your way of being is so magnetic and powerful.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. That you lift a room. So I can see why you'd go into interviewing, because you just get to be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. That's enough. Most people don't have that kind of dynamicism, however I say it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. And I think for a long time I downplayed that. I think I tried to be this version of like what I thought was going to be more marketable, what I thought was going to be more acceptable. Here's the formula. I can do that formula. And I did it. And I did it with some success.
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized that like, okay, cool. So now I've reached the peak of that.
So you're like, what's next?
Right. Because it was like, okay, cool. I could keep doing this, but it's only going to get me this.
Right.
What happens if I decide?
Yes.
I don't know that I decided like that I was enough, but that I think I decided, well, what happened if I were comfortable being more of myself?
Ooh.
Not necessarily that I'm enough. I can't say that I felt that. Can you say
more about that, being comfortable being more of yourself?
Yeah, because I think as a journalist, when you're covering, I was working hard news in New York for CBS,
right,
and covering some of the worst things happening in our world, many of which have exploded into mainstream media now. I was covering 15 years ago and was largely part one of the reasons why I left hard news was because of the way that we were covering news, the way that people were interacting with hard news stories, the things you had to go through in order to get the story on the air, and even how you structured a newscast because, you know, the phrase, you know, if it bleeds, it leads, being a real thing in news. And not just because that's how news is delivered, but that's how we watch. That's what we pay attention to. It's what we share. It's what we comment on. It's what we consume.
Right.
And I think I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I could continue doing this, but I don't want to do this way. And is there something else that feels like more me?
Right.
That I could be doing? And so entertainment was an opportunity to spotlight stories that I cared about, angles that I cared about, and lifted as opposed to only informed.
Yes.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
You know?
Yep.
And so in that process, I became more, as a journalist, you covering hard news, it's not about you.
No, it isn't. Can I ask you this question? I always watch journalists and they're giving information about something so tragic that I don't even know if I could say it.
Yeah.
And then you just deliver it as if it's matter of fact. So-and-so just blew up 5 million people, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How does one do that without breaking down, being like...
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. You just break down off camera. And sometimes you've seen it happen with reporters, anchors, newscasters who those emotions bubble up for them and they can't. You know, you're trained to not get in the way of the story. The idea is that I need you to have this information, hopefully so that you can make some better choices so we can avoid situations like this in the future. Right? That was always kind of the
You are the messenger.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if I can't get the message out, I'm not doing my job properly. But the moments in particular that I love are when the reporter or when the journalist not necessarily infuses themselves as fact necessarily, but that they show up in a way that you know that's them, right? Like this is their hearts. This is their drive. This is their search for the truth coming through.
Yes.
That's not manipulating.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I when I got into entertainment, I was able to just do a little bit more me and incrementally got more comfortable and got to know myself also better as the process, as you get older.
Yeah.
And so was able to share that and have been very fortunate that the reception of that has been so kind.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's something that you've learned about yourself as you've opened up on this journey? And I'm not even reading my cards. I'm just like feeling what you're saying.
Yeah, let's go. You see?
Think I'm like,
see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I would be like, did we get what you did? I'm so sorry. I know we had a plan. I know it was a plan.
No, but my gosh, it's so easy to interview you because you just have so much to share. And I love this. So thank you.
No, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I've learned, the thing that I am learning about myself is that my capacity to, we about to go there.
Go deep, go.
Because I have a high capacity for work or pain or hardship doesn't mean that I need to subject myself to extreme levels of it.
Yes.
Right. So because I can, in relationships, for example, because you can withstand a great amount of pain, doesn't mean I should let you just
hurt me.
Yes. Doesn't mean that because I can take it, I should.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so teaching people, I was having this conversation with myself today. I meditate a lot now on the way to work, this kind of moving meditation where you notice your thoughts and you acknowledge them. And I say thank you for them, even when they're like gnarly. But the one today was, where can you stop allowing people? And then the thought stopped. And it was like, people can't know how to love you or treat you any way outside of how you treat yourself.
That's right.
So like, it literally stopped one point and another point bubbled up even bigger that was like, people treat you how you treat you.
Right.
Don't they?
Right. It's funny. I just put a post the other day. Love yourself like you love someone else. Something like that. Something like that.
It's like support and love on you the way you do these strangers on Instagram. The way you heart and I see you, girl. Y'all did that.
Right.
Look at, ain't he good?
Right.
Won't he do it?
Yes.
But meanwhile, can't cheerlead yourself through a morning. Can't cheerlead yourself through a tough lunch meeting. Can't cheerlead yourself through or big up yourself through a hard conversation with a partner.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so it was just like, I heard loud and clear this voice that is familiar to me, but not my own.
Right.
Nobody can treat you any differently. Don't allow anybody to treat you any differently than how you treat yourself, which means you better get to treating yourself a little bit better.
Right.
Or in some cases, a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
Better. For me.
Yeah.
I'm talking to me.
Right.
You know? So that's the thing I'm learning and coming to terms with, I think, that I can't run from that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that you have to be better to you.
Right.
Especially if you expect other people to be better to you.
Exactly. And in the entertainment industry, it's so vastly important to do that for ourselves because people are vicious sometimes.
They can be. But
or the world can be. And it's like, I guess it's all how you
allow
take
them
it,
to.
If we allow them to.
If we allow them to. Because like.
We teach people how to treat us.
Straight up. And we first do that by treating ourselves that way.
Right.
So like, I'm not going to let you, you will talk to me crazy and I will let you because I talk to me crazy. I do it all day.
Right.
When I stop doing that, you can't.
No, exactly.
And I dare you to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. Yeah. That kind of energy. If you want to disrespect yourself, have at it.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you disrespect me. Was there Tabitha Brown?
Oh!
Says at the end of most of her videos, you go out here and have a good day. But if you can't, don't you get out here messing up nobody else.
That's right.
That's like it's at the core of that a little bit, you know. So that's the thing that I'm leaning into literally today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another question.
Yeah.
So you entertainment, doing the news, and then sports. You do sports, and then you're getting ready to go for the Olympics. So tell me about this.
So my professional on air, I guess, because I consider the show that we did, it was a
Access Hollywood. Is that what you're talking about?
No, 360 Degrees.
Oh, 360 Degrees.
In middle school and high school, I consider that the start of my professional career. Like it was a television show. Like we got orders from MTV. Like when are the episodes coming out? Like all of that stuff, segment producing and all of that. But when I started in sports at the Pacers, so all these years later, I get an offer to come and host the Pacer games.
Yes.
Like to be the on-court MC for the Indiana Pacers.
And how old was this? How old were you?
I was 19.
You were 19. Okay, you did say that. Okay.
I was 19, the youngest in the league. First
that's what I read. You were the youngest one to announce the Pacers.
Yeah.
So cool.
And the first African-American person to do it solo. And it was just like
You were born to do this.
I ate it up. It was a live audience of 17 to 18,000 people. Wow. Are you kidding me?
And you're like, bring them on.
I was like, bring them out. Bring them out. Yeah, with the barrels in your backyard yelling, bring them out. There was a point where my producer and like my boss manager at the time for the games was like, just do whatever. We got 7 minutes. Just go out there and do whatever you want to do. I was like, do whatever I want to do. Give me some T-shirts. I need Boomer and I need 2 dancers. Let's go. And it was incredible. And so, being around excellence in sports, being around that kind of energy, that high demand of live prepared me for so many things that I still use in my career, to this day.
Right.
And so now to be able to go back to the Olympics, this is my second Olympics. First was Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a totally different experience in Paris.
Yes.
And I cannot wait. I've already had some incredible experiences with some of the athletes, an incredible American Team USA fencer. Miles is like a phenom. He has a move named after him. He can lunge at you, throw his saber
behind his back,
throw his foil behind his back and hit you in the chest. I was like, dude, this is gonna sound so ridiculous.
What is a foil?
It's the tool. It's the weapon.
The weapon is called a foil?
So there are 3. There's I'm going to mess this up. There are 3 different weapon styles and handles. One of the most difficult, I think, is the foil.
Okay.
And that's what his discipline is. So
and it's all called fencing, but these are the 3 different
so it's like
types.
Track and field, but I run hurdles. I do the relay.
High jump.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So he is does foil. He does foil.
He foils them
exactly.
from behind his back.
And so he has a move named after him.
Uh-huh.
And he found fencing through an after-school program. It was that or trouble for him, basically, in school. And he went to his first practice. Coach told him he was pretty good at it.
Where'd he grow up?
Between UK and, I believe, New York.
Okay.
And so
his coach said,
listen, I think you got some natural talent here. You want to try this? And now he's going back to the Olympics.
Wow.
It's incredible. I spent some time with the women's water polo team. They're going back for, I believe, their 4th consecutive gold medal at the Olympics. Nope, not enough people are talking about it. Because also, when it comes to water polo, maybe I'm the only one. I thought they were in like 5 foot of water. And that's what was the advantage of being tall for water polo. So that you could like kind of run through the water.
No, they're in deep water.
They're in at least 10 feet. And they're wading water the entire time with this technique called egg beating. I got in the pool with Maggie and Ashley, the team leads for Team USA.
Okay.
And I wanted to learn the technique. I'm going to just tell you. It's disrespectful.
What?
It's disrespectful. The way I had a panic attack in the pool, I was like, I got to get out. How long have we been? I said, oh my God, how long have we been in the pool? My producer said, about 2 minutes.
And they do this for how long?
An hour?
Treading water or egg beating the water.
Absolutely not. No. There is no way. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't do it. She was like, so we've been in the pool now for 2 minutes. It feels like 2 days. And she's like, okay, Scott, now here's the plan. I said, oh no, I'm not doing a play. I can't even think. And I need a biscuit. I can't do it. I can't do it. She was like, no. I'm gonna draw Ashley out, and then you're gonna like go to the corner. I'm gonna toss you the ball. I said, you already have said too much. So,
like, I can't focus. I just need to breathe.
She's like, okay, I'm gonna throw you the ball and you get the ball in. I said, okay. Throw me the ball. She threw me the ball. I tried my best. I gave it everything I had. And in my head, I was like, Sarah, when they rolled that footage back, I'm barely like, I don't even think I caught the ball. I was just like, he was like, Ashley was like, get that shit out of here. There was no way the best in the world was going to let me score on her, but also not with the most minimal effort ever. She was like, there's no way.
You're treading water and trying to throw a ball.
And breathe.
Not
die is really what I'm trying to do is not die. And I think that I eked out a little success because I almost did die.
They would never have let you die.
It felt like it. It felt like it. It felt like I died that day. It felt like I died a little bit. So yes, I'm very, very excited about Team USA and the Olympics in Paris. I'm really very excited about what Noah Lyles is going to do in the 200 and the 100. I'm very excited about what Sha'Carri Richardson is going to do.
Love her.
Yeah.
She reminds me of FloJo from back in the day.
Really does.
She really does.
And she is so still. She is so present. She seems to have made a real shift in her approach to her sport, but also in her life.
Yes.
I think that she has been better equipped to handle some of the pressure,
right,
of being a phenomenal athlete and a high achieving athlete and a star.
Right.
I think that she's better equipped to handle that. I think she's got the best people around her now possible, who are ensuring that she stays focused and that she is well supported. So very excited about what she's going to do. This is going to be a very exciting Olympics because there's also new sports like breakdancing. Breaking is going to be a...
Wait, I missed that memo.
Yeah, breaking.
Breakdancing? Are you going to go to that part?
Heck yeah. I got parachute pants already.
I know you do.
Not that will be...
People who are listening to this on Spotify or whatever, you have to check out YouTube as well because you have to see his movements and his dancing.
I really messed that up, but you know what I'm saying? Like I want to know what music they're going to dance to. Like how does
one even judge breakdancing? Like,
harshly.
Harshly. Well, I guess it's kind of like gymnastics. You got to hit certain...
10.5. I give that move a 10.5. That windmill gets a 10.5. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the
fascinating
the score count. But I am definitely going to be offering all of the commentary no one needs.
Okay, wait. Who are you working with to do this? Are you doing this on your own?
This is Access Hollywood.
This is Access Hollywood.
Yeah,
okay.
they're with Access Hollywood. Very excited about NBC Sports. The Olympics, we're doing a show leading up to the Olympics. For the first time ever, Access Hollywood was asked by NBC to produce a road to the opening ceremonies. So we're going early. I leave on Saturday to go to Paris and produce this show that everyone will be able to watch on NBC and on Peacock nightly. We've never had access like this.
Okay, so when do we start watching? Because that's what I'd be like, where do we watch? Because I'm a streaming girl all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, when are the Olympics on? This is the first time I've been so checked out.
No,
right?
I got it.
Okay, what's happening?
It is the thing about it. I will say is that like you have 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks of competition from opening ceremony to closing ceremony, and so it is a very like I cannot wait. I'm going early, and I'm like, could we go now?
Yeah, right.
We could have left last week. So I just want to make sure. I believe it's July 24th are the opening ceremonies, but I'm not gonna get that messed up. So I'm gonna check just real quick and make sure.
Go for it. July. Okay, July 24th.
Yes, I do believe so.
Because they're doing so much information and putting things out there right now that I'm like, wait, I haven't missed anything, have I?
26th. Ha!
July 26th.
July 26th through August 11th.
Through August 11th.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Okay, so you're going to be covering things on Peacock and NBC
and
through Access Hollywood.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can, everything that we do is going to be on Peacock. You can, of course, watch all of the games, primetime games. It's going to be nuts on NBC.
Oh, my God.
Kenan Thompson, Kevin Hart coming back for the commentary we all need when it comes to the Olympics. I can't wait.
Oh, my gosh. Are you going to be working with them as well?
We're going to be everywhere.
Are you going to be working with Kevin Hart?
We're going to be everywhere. The idea is that we want to touch every bit of the Olympics this year. Yeah.
This is going to be extraordinary.
It's going to be extraordinary. The fact that you have Simone Biles coming back.
What? I'm such a Simone fan.
Yeah, right?
Such a Simone fan.
And I think that, even thinking about, I don't know if you've seen her documentary on Netflix.
I haven't watched it yet, but I keep I'm going to watch it. Is it extraordinary?
I think you get a better understanding of what she's up against, what she was up against in Tokyo, why she pulled out of the games, why she preserved her well-being. Getting back to that, like, you can't expect other people to treat you in a way you aren't willing to treat yourself. Right? Like it was a reminder that, like, I get that there's all of this expectation of what I should be doing at the Olympics.
But what do I want to be doing? Am I okay?
Right. And yeah, I could probably push through this, but is that wise? And also, is it necessary?
Right.
Like, I'm the GOAT. I ain't gonna not be the GOAT.
Facts.
Because I don't medal at all this year.
Right.
I'm still going to be the GOAT.
Right.
She's still the GOAT.
So
to see how her call for even more responsible reporting, I remember when we were talking about the pressure, it was like, the pressure must be on, the pressure. When you hear that over and over and over, like, how do you deal with the pressure? And like, how are you handling the pressure? It's like, okay, cool. But what's the real question that you're asking? What's the better question to ask? It's like, how are you managing your own excellence? Like, how are you defining excellence for yourself these games?
Right.
Instead of like,
excellence is not just I'm a winner, I've done this, but how are you taking care of your whole well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, your everything?
Yeah. I said it. So we were doing something on the show today. She's one of the lead story actually today, and one of the ways we were talking about getting into her piece was like, all eyes are on Simone. It was like, actually, everyone's here to support Simone, I think is the better phrase. I get
love
why you want to do I get the splashiness of that. But remember what she's saying in the doc herself, out of her own mouth, is that like that is tough to hear over and over and over again. And like, is there a better way to say what we mean? It's like, we're all rooting for Simone.
Right.
That's the difference between that and all eyes are, it's great.
It's so, our words create our world.
Yeah.
And when we use them powerfully, it can actually give a different context and message for someone with maybe the same and different intentions behind it that can empower someone.
Yeah, same intensity.
Rather than have them be. So what I hear you saying is that with these athletes, with your commentary and presenting, you're going to be speaking in a language of how you manifested your life up to this point. You're speaking into their listening and manifesting for them.
Yeah.
In your commentary, giving it to us as the viewer to then have that in our heads to do that for them as well.
I'm standing in agreement with, if you tell me how to love on you, if you tell me how to treat you,
I love
I'm going to honor that.
I love that.
If you say to me, it really messed me up when you were like, the pressure, the pressure, the pressure. It doesn't help me handle the pressure.
Right.
If what you mean is that like you're rooting for me and you want me to win and you want me to be my best, say that. If I agree that like I want you to be the best, why wouldn't I honor that?
I love that.
And so that's what I'm doing.
But the power of the media.
Yeah.
And the responsibility of that. And I see you see another level of responsibility in how you're communicating that can actually empower the athletes and the viewers.
I appreciate your saying that, because what it is for me is that like, again, I've come to terms with like the words that I use, the things that I say don't just float out there and go away. You know, I've made some major mistakes. I've said some things that I really regret saying that were supposed to be like funny or like in the moment, like, okay, and then it's over. That I don't have any idea what that impact was on the person or people that heard that, right? Trying to make a moment or trying to be something that I'm really not. And so what I mean to be in every way I possibly can be is as intentional as possible with what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about it. And so, like, for example, today we were talking about, one of the stories today was about, it is the 2-year anniversary of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's marriage in Las Vegas. And they spent what it appears to be their anniversary on opposite sides of the country. Jennifer's in the Hamptons and Ben is here in Los Angeles. And the lead was something to the effect of, originally, 2 years after their wedded bliss in Las Vegas, things aren't going quite as planned, it seems, this anniversary with Jennifer in the Hamptons and Ben in LA. And I was like, I get that. Also, I've worked with Jennifer. I respect her.
Mm-hmm.
And while I also agree it was way intense, the like Ben and Jen 2.0 love story, like I get I get the reason for the flip,
right,
in narrative, but like I don't have to say that. And I don't have to be an agent of that.
So can you change the writing?
I did.
You did.
I did.
And they didn't give you pushback, or is that what?
No, not to. Well, I think they know me now. That they're like, I'm not going to say anything I'm not comfortable with. There are sometimes I go along for the sake of getting along, and then I regret it later. And so I do my very best to like, that doesn't really feel good. That doesn't really feel authentic to me. Or that doesn't really feel like something that I would say. And then don't say that. You know, that doesn't mean that the story can't still be the story. The story is, today is their anniversary. One is in LA. One is in the Hamptons. That's the story.
Right.
But I don't have to offer some sort of like quippy,
right,
snarky dig.
Yeah.
No. It's also not my job.
Right. I love what you're saying about you bringing your own self and your own feelings and empowering others and thinking about how you're going to ask questions. But if there's somebody who's young, who's getting ready, or maybe older for that matter, and trying to figure out they're not comfortable with something.
Yeah.
How would you advise them and support them in their journey to stand in their power with what they want to share, like you did?
Yeah, I think if you can be armed with as much information as possible, I think sometimes I think I feel is not necessarily the best mechanism for articulating that you want something to change. Like your feelings aren't necessarily the leverage, right?
Right.
That doesn't necessarily resonate with like a manager or an editor. Like, I feel like we could probably say something different. There is a better way to drive this element or this story or whatever is making you uncomfortable, maybe with an alternative, right? So coming armed with like the solution, not just how you feel about the thing, right? So like
coming with a solution.
Yeah, coming with an alternative. And perhaps that like this is how I would actually say this, or this seems to me to be more aligned with like the reality of the scenario. Let the reader or the listener or the audience member draw their own conclusion. I don't necessarily need to infuse my little snark on this.
I love that.
If you're working at an outlet where that kind of energy is paramount, I think that before you even go to like challenge that, you probably need to ask yourself like, is this a fight that like I'm gonna win here?
Right.
Is this a fight that is it? Am I in a space where this is every day? Am I in a space where this is required?
Right.
Do I need to? Am I required to be here?
Right.
I'm certainly not telling anybody to walk off their job because they've got to write a headline. But I am saying that if you can do your best to align yourself with organizations that are in alignment with your morals and your perspectives, and your approach to life and to things and to storytelling, that is probably going to be the best place for you to be. But if you can't, I think if you feel like you need to say something, you need to say something.
Yeah,
I do. And I think that you would be best served with having a solution or an alternative than rather, I don't think we should do that way.
Right. And you know what I hear, this is what we're talking about in media, but I hear this in every area of life. If you want to get a raise in a job, or if you don't feel like things are going well in a meeting, sometimes these are all different ways to coming up with a solution in those moments and not making people wrong.
Nobody's wrong.
People wrong. But here's another possibility.
Hey, I said I totally understand why this is a way at it. Don't you think, though, that there's also the opportunity for the viewer to make their own conclusion?
Their own conclusion.
Don't you think this is an opportunity for me not to have to position myself in the middle of their relationship as opposed to here's what it seems like it's happening? Because also, if that's wrong,
then what have you said?
I'm wrong.
Exactly.
Not the writer.
Exactly.
Not the producer.
Because you're the one saying it.
Jen is calling.
Jen is calling you because you know her. Why did you say that?
Who told you that? Now, she ain't gonna call me, but she might call somebody I know. And I'm not here for the smoke.
No, but I think that's an important thing for CEOs of companies, managers, people working in different positions, teachers, educators, because I feel like that's such a valuable point. People, how are we putting information out there?
Yeah.
And are we putting a bias toward one group or another, or to this is how it goes? Or are we giving openness and let people decide for themselves, or leave space to come up with your own idea and opinion?
Yeah. And my thing was it's someone's relationship.
Yeah.
There are children involved in these relationships.
That's right.
There are a lot of factors at play that we don't necessarily know. And while I think largely a lot of the population who are watching this particular relationship have already made up their mind about what is happening.
Right.
That ain't my business.
That's right.
It's already uncomfortable for me to be talking about are they or aren't they anyway. That's not really my bag.
Exactly.
So, it's my job to report news in entertainment for whatever reasons, divorce, breakups, people love.
Right.
So I understand why our show covers it, but I don't love that.
Right.
And I'm not going to pretend like, ooh.
This is what I want to talk about.
That's not my interest.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I love that. And before we close out here, I know you have a first look deal.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? And how did you get there? And how cool is that?
It was an incredible experience. I'll be coming up on 10 years at NBC, 10 years at
You don't look
Access
old enough to
Hollywood.
come up at that. I mean,
maybe I didn't tell you right now.
you look like you're 25,
Shoot,
baby.
I'll take it. I started at 15.
That's right.
But no, I mean, seriously, I'd started at Access Hollywood 10 years ago as a guest correspondent. And so East Coast guest correspondent. And so now to be hosting the show, to be one of the hosts of the show is an incredible experience. And then for the network to be like, we value your work and your approach, your energy, not only on the Access level, but on the network level.
Yes.
That you are the kind of talent we want to use, network, cross-platform, streaming, primetime, live. I've done first of its kind shows for the network, proven that things can be done in a way they've never been done before. And so to get that kind of vote of confidence from the network saying, what other stories are in you? What other things do you want to do? And we're willing to invest in that has been incredible.
And having that type of voice and power is actually, you're a creator. You get to create stories and make sure voices are heard and do.
And so that's what we're doing with House Guest, right?
Yes,
so
with
House Guest, the whole deal with that was like I'm going to tell you something I've not told a lot of people.
Okay.
I want to work in late night. I don't care if it actually is late night, but I want that kind of feeling, that vibe, that energy, that level in my career, in my life.
Oh, I see that.
And so I told Jimmy Fallon, I was like, bruh, I'm not saying you ready, but I'm going to let you know I'm getting ready. He was like, you would kill it.
You would.
I was like, first of all, just can I film that? Can you send that to me on Cameo or something?
Right.
So I shared with him that I wanted to do it. I was pitching shows and people were saying, we love you. We definitely want to figure something out. The timing, the strikes, all that stuff was kind of crazy.
Right.
And so instead of waiting for a opportunity to open up in late night, I started with our producing team. It's me and 2 people.
Right.
That's who does House Guest. We are building our late night show backwards. We're testing segments, testing games, testing guests, and we'll grow this show from this component you see now on YouTube, delivered every other Wednesday on YouTube. You'll see it grow to the late night vibe as we go.
Of course.
And so, it's incremental, it's baby steps.
And this is what you did as a child, though.
Yeah.
As a child, you did this. You know exactly the formula. You're just in a different pool, a bigger pool to swim in. But we won't going to do egg beaters in this pool.
Somebody please give me that. I will show you the video. You're going to be like, oh my God. Look, please don't put this on air. Do not show this man on national TV. Unable to swim. Please do not do that. The stereotype. I can swim. I can't egg beat.
Oh
though.
My gosh. But I totally see you as a late night host.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And so we are highlighting, spotlighting, and amplifying the voices of people that we love and respect in this business. We just had Andra Day, Golden Globe winner.
Yeah.
Andra Day. Come to share her craft, her approach. She's got 3 movies coming out. One with Lee Daniels for Netflix called Deliverance.
Deliverance.
Yeah. She shared some things with us about filming that movie that she ain't never said out loud. I was like, girl, can you say that on the mic? She was like, it's you, baby, it's good. I was like, bet. Y'all heard her. We've had Rachel Lindsay, Kevin Fredericks. The first episode we launched went viral.
Wow.
And it let me know that there's a thirst for this kind of content. We're centering joy. We're centering
you have
joy.
Your intention.
Yeah.
Centering joy.
We're centering joy, amusement. I want people to come in and feel like they are sitting there with us. And for the first 3 episodes, the comments have been I feel like I'm with y'all. It's the greatest kind of feeling to know that your intention, your hope and desire for something is the thing that gets me a little emotional.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that is resonating. It's a thing that's happening.
Yes.
For me, it's like it's a reminder for anybody that is out there with a dream in them, with a goal in them, with a desire in them that they feel like maybe they aren't deserving of, they feel like it's not for them in this life, that is out here for you, and that we're waiting on you. And that if you're nervous about whether you're worthy or you deserve it, it maybe is a call for you to better prepare.
You're making me teary. Sorry.
But like if it's what you're on this planet to do, you got to get to it. And we can't keep waiting.
Right.
I feel like in a lot of ways, we are where we are in the strife and the difficulty of not only our country, but this planet, because many of us are waiting. And like we would all be better. We will all be better. All of us. If you just said, what's the first step? You don't have to figure out the whole thing. It don't have to be perfect. You can refine as you go. You go find the team. You will make it great. But start today. Take the first class. Buy the web domain. Secure the Instagram handle. End the relationship. Enter the education space. Exit the education phase. Start the action phase. Whatever the pull is for you, whatever the next step is, just do it.
In this moment, what I'm hearing is the Martin Luther King Jr. quote, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." And I hear that that's what you're saying. You don't have to have it all figured out.
You don't.
You just take the first step and people will show up, you share, and people will show up and help you on that journey.
Because if you try to figure it out all right now anyway, it's going to change. Right. And you have wasted that time. Yes. It's going to change. So just get the first, take the first step.
Let's take the first step.
Yeah, why are we freaking out about what's on the other side of the stream and we ain't take the first step yet? Take the first step. Almost got me cussing.
Take the first step.
Take the first step.
I love that.
With confidence.
Wow. I think you have many roles in this lifetime. I think there's like this order of inspiration that you are. I can see you being a preacher, a late night host. You get to be, the answer is D, all of the above. Right? You get to be all of it.
Most preachers think they are a late night host. So you might be onto something there.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Is there anything you want to share that we should be looking for you in or that we should be watching before we close out here?
I think really if you want to connect with me on any of the social media platforms,
what are your social?
I am at Scott Evans on pretty much everything. YouTube is the same thing. We release new episodes of House Guest every other Wednesday. This Wednesday is an episode we did with Scott Evans, the Chris Evans' brother. I call him lovingly the other Scott Evans.
I love it. I was like, wait, you did it with yourself? Okay,
yeah,
got
it. I did. It's an episode of Mistaken Identity. We play a game of Mistaken Identity. He talks about how Barbie happened for him and how at one point he was like, are they expecting the Black Scott Evans to come here today?
Oh, so he was like, funny.
What is happening? Are you sure this me that you want? It was a lot of fun. He is a fast talker.
Wow.
But we had a good time.
Okay.
It is a good time.
Oh my gosh. Everyone check this out.
Yeah, we have Diarra Kilpatrick from Diarra from Detroit coming up from BET. We have Andra Day coming up. Jessica Betts, Niecy Nash Betts, her husband, does a performance for us on Poolside Session.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Husband.
Susan Carroll, Grammy Award winning singer, does a Poolside Session, which is our music performances. Dre Scott came and did a music performance. So every other Wednesday, you're going to get an episode, and we're going to be trying things. So please give us your feedback. Please subscribe to the situation so you don't miss anything.
I understand that subscribing. It's serious. It helps everything, people. It really makes a difference.
It does. It does. And so we're done filming the first season. We're going to roll out the over the next few months. And then we start up again in September. And already the people who have reached out to us to be a part of it are crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, my gosh, you got to call Erica and tell her to come back and just let her know, the different. Oh, she's.
Put it out. Keep
okay. I was I don't want to spill the beans or anything.
I'm in agreement with you.
Yes. No, but it's like you've already interviewed some of the biggest stars of our time when you were a kid. And I feel like you could just get your people in contact with them again and say, hey, you made a difference in my life when I was a kid. Can you come back and be part of the show? They'll be like, oh my gosh, yes. I'm just saying.
Y'all heard it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all heard it right
I'm
here.
going to send the clip.
What?
I'm going to just send the clip.
Send the clip.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank
Truly,
you.
Truly.
You're amazing.
You are.
You're fire. I cannot wait to see you on your late night show. I'm visualizing it. I see it. You've manifested it. The rest of us see it. And everyone listening here will manifest it too. So done. Time is just catching up.
Boom, baby.
Boom. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Lots of love.
You are the bomb.